Hey everyone, welcome back to my Logic Pro sidechaining techniques course. In this video, we're going to jump into the sidechain detection filter settings of the compressor. So let's go ahead on our bass track here and add the compressor to this track. Now, in particular, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at peak detection versus RMS detection. And we'll come back to max versus sum and actually using the sidechain filter itself in future videos. I wanted to make a dedicated video on peak versus RMS detection because this is one of the easiest ways to get more ducking if that's what you're looking for, or to get smoother ducking if that's what you're looking for. And I'm going to show you two different examples in this video where I would use peak and where I would use RMS. Okay, so let's start with this first section here. This is just sort of a variation on what we had already done in the previous video. It's just bass and drums right now. And I'll go ahead and bypass the compressor. So very similar to what we had before. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the compressor, and then I'm going to go up to my sidechain input source, and we're going to go to instrument, and then we're going to find the kick drum within that DMD kit. Now remember, as I did in previous videos, we're going to turn auto gain off, turn auto release off. Let's make the attack and release very quick and very short. We're going to pull the knee down to a hard knee. Let's pull the ratio all the way up. And then once again, we'll just set the threshold somewhere in the middle. And we want to see the signal sort of dancing around the knee. And you can get a pretty good amount of ducking this way, but right now we're in RMS detection mode. Let's go to peak detection mode and see what happens. So if you want even more ducking, especially when you're working with a transient heavy sidechain source like a kick or other drums, it's worth checking out peak detection, because what peak detection does is the actual signal peaks determine where the compression starts. So essentially the compression that you see, the gain reduction you see in here, is going to more closely follow the peak level of the kick in this situation here. Whereas RMS is more like a signal average, so you're not going to see as strong of ducking in RMS mode. But RMS mode does have its uses, especially when you are working with non-percussive or non-drum sidechain sources and you want really smooth ducking. So let's go ahead and use peak here for the kick and the bass. Now, another advantage of using peak, in addition to just getting more sidechain ducking, is that it also gives you more dynamic range to work with. If we go over to a graph view here, you're going to see that I can pull down the threshold quite a bit. So the threshold's at like -30 and the signal is still returning back to 0. So you may even want to dial back the ratio if that's too much ducking for you. You know, before with RMS, we were only getting up to about -10, and now we're getting almost down to 30. So if I want to pull back the ratio a bit, I can get this closer to 20 or maybe in between 10 and 20. So anytime you want really deep ducking, or you're working with transient material or drums as your sidechain source, it's worth checking out peak detection. Okay, let's jump over to our second section here, and we're going to add compression ducking to the synth chords down here. So this already has a Space Designer plugin on it. You can actually put the compression before or after the Space Designer. It's just going to control whether you want the reverb to be ducked as well. In this case, I don't want the reverb to be ducked, so I'm going to put the compressor before the reverb. So let's go ahead and throw that on there. And for now, let's go ahead and bypass the compressor. So here we're not going to compress or duck the bass at all because it's a different pattern than what we had before. But really what I want to do is I want these two elements to kind of share the focus, because right now they're kind of competing with each other. I've got this synth pluck idea with like this reverse swell leading into the plucks. And then I've just got some synth chords here. And really what I'm looking for here is every time one of these plucks sort of swells in and plays, I want the chords to duck. And so I want these two elements to sort of share the focus. And sure, you could spend a bunch of time writing in a bunch of automation, but honestly, doing this with ducking seems like the better and easier option. Not only that, it also gives you immediate control over the effect. So let's just solo these two for now. And I've got the compressor here on the synth chords. Let's go ahead and turn that on. And we're going to set the sidechain source to the plucks and swell audio track. So we'll go to audio. Here's plucks and swell. We're going to go to our sidechain options. And actually, before I mess with anything here, I'm going to make sure I turn off auto gain, turn off auto release, pull up the ratio, set the threshold somewhere in the middle, hard knee, quick attack, quick release. Let's see what we've got going on now. And you can see there, even when I unsolo the plucks are still ducking the chords. Now, the reason why you wouldn't want to use peak here is because this signal is much more complex than the kick drum was. And so what we're going to get is a lot of variation in the gain reduction with peak detection. It's kind of moving erratically. Well, technically it's not moving erratically. It's moving with the peak detection. And you can really see this when you go into graph mode. It's just moving all over the place. But if we go to RMS, because this is an average signal, we're going to get a much smoother effect. And while we won't get as much ducking, we get a better controlled ducking, a smoother ducking. So let's go ahead and dial in the threshold to make sure we're getting the most amount of ducking possible while still returning back to 0. And I'm also going to increase the release time a bit so that the compressor is a little slower to let go of the signal. And now these two elements can sort of share the space. They can share the focus, where the transients are heavy, where the peak signal is louder. In the plucks, you're going to hear less of the chords, and in between the gaps, you're going to hear more of the chords. And then with everything back in, so this is one of my favorite ways to use sidechain compression ducking in a creative way, because you can make two elements of your mix that maybe are clashing. You can make them sort of do this dance where they sort of trade places and share the focus rather than just being static elements. And this also allows you to boost up the levels of those tracks a little higher, whereas if they're just static elements, you may find yourself trying to pan them to get them, on different sides of the mix, or you may have to pull one of them down, or you have to go in and write in a bunch of automation. But this way, they're sort of dancing and moving together almost as one unit, and they're sharing the focus. So that is Peak versus RMS detection in the Compressor and Logic Pro. I really wanted to make a dedicated video on just this topic alone because it's one of the most direct ways to change the sound of your ducking effects. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. As always, thank you so much for the support, and thanks for watching.